everybody, Bam Collectibles here, and normally you might know me as a Naruto statue guy, but today it's time to show you my Pokemon statue collection. As a collector, I try not to be too diversified, but Pokemon has such a strong place in my heart that it's something I do enjoy collecting, as well as my Naruto statues. So we're going to take a look today. Honestly, this is where my passion began to mix both cards and statues. Two beautiful works of art married together. We get some amazing things that you'll see behind me. Without delay, let's jump in and take a close look at everything behind me. First things first, I am a Gen 1 OG player. I started off with Pokemon Blue, my brother had Red. So jumping into this case here, we have Bulbasaur by MFC Studios, one of the oldest studios around making Pokemon statues. Right below it is MFC Ivysaur, an awesome transition. You can see how the diorama upgraded a lot. Moving up top, we have DS Studio Venusaur. Now, a different studio from MFC, but they blend so nicely together. Right below it is DS Studio Mega Venusaur. I apologize in advance. There's some moments where the lighting will be overexposed because I think it has to do with the white strip along top of the PSA cases, just throwing off the camera lighting. So this is my PSA 7 base set Venusaur. Then we have by MFC Studio again, Charmander, and zooming on over, we have my PSA 7 Charizard. So just in case you're wondering, I started off by having PSA 7 because I loved having all the starter evolutions at 777 lucky 7s, and then I just started collecting all sorts of PSA 7s. So here's MFC Charmeleon. And then we have the big boy himself, Charizard up top. Those are LEDs underneath of him, illuminating that flame. Such an amazing statue. This one is by DS Studio, as well as the Mega X and Y on the left and right are also going to be by DS as well. How incredible did they bring these to life? I love how they accent each other sitting side by side of the main Charizard. I don't know about you, but if I had to pick a favorite form, it would probably be Mega X, just because it looks like that of Charizard's shiny variant, which is typically black and red. So the black and blue, blue being my favorite color, probably made me gravitate to him as well. So here we have MFC Pikachu, looking like he's skipping on the water. The tropical diorama definitely makes it feel like it's something out of the Alolan region. Here we have one of my cheaper Pokeballs. I think this thing was like $7 or $8 off of Amazon years ago. And there is MFC Mew just hanging out in the jungle, or a jungle themed diorama on there. Moving over to the right side of the case, we're going to focus on the Pokemon that started it all for me, which is going to be Squirtle. So what's really cool, this is again by MFC Studio, and they came out with a variant with him wearing the glasses as well. So this is the only one of the two that came out with a variant. War Turtle being below by MFC Studio again. Going on up, we're going to skip past the Mega, jump up top here. This is one of DS Studios' first statue they ever made of Blastoise, and so it's definitely a little bit different looking, more dated looking than some of the others they came out with. And Mega Blastoise, that's one of the last ones they came out with. Just an incredible lineup. Again, this is my favorite setup in the whole entire case. I love it. While the above group was my favorite setup all around, this is my favorite series of statues made by Moon Shadow Studio. They focus on bringing to life the Elite Four, and obviously we're focusing on the Kanto region. Lorelei, we can see Slowbro, Jinx, Lapras, Dugong, we have Cloyster, and even up front we can see a little Shelter hanging out. So really cool, nice touch how they blended all these Pokemon together, many that she's used all throughout the series against us as we make it to the end. I will mention, for a variant of this statue, they made a Lapras that was more purple themed, and here we have my PSA 7 version of Lapras on the side. Could have picked any Pokemon, but I went with Lapras just because it's the largest one on there. And this one, this is probably my favorite Pokemon statue that I own, period. Hands down, singular favorite statue of Lance from the Elite Four, the Dragon Trainer. So, my gosh, I don't know what to say about this one. Just has everything. It hits all the right buttons for me personally. We have Lance and a Dratini on his shoulder. Then we have two beautiful Dragonairs circling Lance and Aerodactyl on the left side, Dragonite being the main one in the center. Then we have that shiny Gyarados that we saw at the Lake of Rage over there on the right. And then here we have a Horsey that is kind of evolving to a Seadra. I guess it would have been given a dragon scale, so we can see the outline of a Seadra as if it's mid-evolution. So a cool freebie they actually threw into the statue. Taking a step back, you can see why I gave it its own case. Just so glorious how it comes together. Now here is another super sought after piece by DS Studio, showcasing all the Eeveelutions in one statue. I absolutely love how they gave a theme and type to each of the dioramas on the base, trying to mimic that of their element that they represent. So certain sections, right, the fire, the ice, the fairy, the water, just really cool how they brought that to life. For someone that owns a statue, you will notice I added some extra Eevees all throughout. I bought this pack of like random Eevees that are posed all differently. I think it was like 20 bucks and just sprinkled them all throughout the statue. I love how it turned out. Coming in hot, we have MFC Studios Legendary Beasts, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. We have the PSA 7 cards as we've seen all throughout there to accent each statue. And so it's cool, they actually put some small Pokemon on the bottom bases of Raikou and Entei. None for Suicune though. One of the coolest things about these statues is, of course, the diorama, the way that they bring everything to life, properly matching the typing of the Pokemon itself. And then also it's like they're raised and lifted up, so it allows them to feel more epic and dynamic. You know, most characters, when you want to make them feel epic or royal, they put them on some kind of throne. And for this one, it almost feels like they're lifted up on top of a pedestal. So really cool execution by MFC. You know, we've already seen they do some masterful works, and this is definitely some of the apex statues that they've created. For anyone wondering about these display cases, it's made by Case. They make such amazing products. You can see how the lighting comes together so well, and they're so easy to put together, and the way that they stack is brilliant. Zooming in, we can see the CD promo versions of the starters. This is Charizard, and right next to it is going to be Egg Studios, the evolution family statues with the Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. You'll notice this is the Pokken version of Charizard, where he does have some pecs going on there. Definitely not my favorite version of him, but over here we have Moonshadow Charmander, where he's evolving into Charmeleon, and you can kind of see a Charizard resembling of the clear resin that's going around him, so neat little statue. Then we have the CD promo of Blastoise, which reminds you of some of the covers from the games, and there's Egg Studios Blastoise with Squirtle and Wartortle. Look at Wartortle up there flexing. Another Egg Studio with Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. I was a bad boy and I forgot that this card fell. I didn't fix it before I filmed, but there's Gengar's card back there, of course, in PSA 7. Then moving over, we have a different studio named PPAP. It's PPAP, and they make statues that are a lot more organic feeling because they eliminate that round black base. At least they did for this one and some of their future ones. So we have all the different evolution lines represented. Now, strange enough, here is the PPAP Gyarados. We can see this is the shiny variant version. And now for this one, it's PPAP, but it does have a round base on there. So I think they eliminated it after this one. Then we have the perfect cards to go along with it with the shiny Magikarp and Gyarados there. I don't know what it is about Magikarp, but you paint him golden and he goes from looking super derpy to super cool. Here's a heartwarming Butterfree statue featuring Caterpie, Metapod. We have Ash's Butterfree. We can see the sash, and a little bit behind it, we'll see the female version of Butterfree painted pink. Then there's the last CD promo of Venusaur, and then Egg Studio Venusaur coming up top there. Bulbasaur, Ivysaur. Now, Ivysaur came with some whips where like Venusaur was almost forcing him to smile. I did take those off, so if you're familiar with the statue, I don't have those on there. And then Venusaur obviously doing a vine whip up top, looking pretty epic. Transitioning down, we'll take a look at some of the legendary birds. We have all the associated cards to go with them. I always try to choose some of the earlier sets for the cards. Those are the ones that I personally collected and grew up with. But first off is Moltres. And one thing I will complain about, so these are made by Egg Studio again, and a lot of the poses are a little bit too similar for my liking. I wish there was a little bit of variance or a little bit more dynamic poses that they went for each bird, but they are such great quality overall. We have Lugia in the center using some type of ability or move. I'll let you guess in the comments below what move is Lugia using right here. Of the three legendary birds, I'll tell you Articuno is my favorite, so definitely Team Mystic for Pokemon Go. Another nostalgic PSA 7 card coming in with the base set Mewtwo. Right next to it is a Master Ball, picked up from the same series where I got my Pokeball off Amazon, and then the Counter Attack of Mewtwo by MFC Studio. There were two versions made of this statue, the regular and then the clones version, which I only believe there was 20 made in the world. 20 made! So we'll see different variations of Pokemon where they are the cloned versions. We see all those different markings that are all throughout the body, but different Pokemon representations on here. We can see Pikachu, Blastoise, Venusaur, Charizard. Then there's Mew clashing with Mewtwo, and in the back we'll see a Pidgey out there as well. Here is my Black Star promo version of Mew. Man, I just love it. I love cards, and there's so many people that collect cards and they don't even display them. I love being able to mix the two works of art between the statues and these cards together. Here is DS Studio Mewtwo, as if he's breaking out of that canister. Now, from an artistic approach, they added Mew onto his tail, but that looks extremely epic, how he's just popping from out of there. We can see broken, shattered glass everywhere. For this next set, it's going to be similar to the first that we ever looked at, where the MFC makes the starters while DS Studio makes all the final evolutions for them. Because my brother played Pokemon Red and did the fire starter, so Charmander up to Charizard, for Gen 2, I picked Cyndaquil and Typhlosion, so these are definitely my favorite of the lot. These are the ones that I used for Gen 2 and loved it. Who you pick has such an influence overall with your experience with Pokemon. Up top, we'll see that glorious Meganium. I swear, I messed up the name for that Pokemon so many different times growing up. Chikorita be looking fun, playful, and happy, just like Totodile down here as well. I love how they executed all the starters for these. And then we have good old Feraligatr chilling up top here. So we have that nice water resin effect that's flowing all around him. And then there's that kind of like hyper punch looking effect that's coming from his hand as well. As a little standalone statue, we have MFC Psyduck looking super, super playful. There's actually a little shelter on the left side of this statue as well. Right above, we have the incredible PL Studios Lapras. Really cool how they made it look like it's sitting underwater. And then also, this statue has some speakers built into it to where it plays some kind of music that's really serene, relaxing, and tons of diorama pieces baked into it. Such a unique and cool statue. An oldie but a goodie, Poke Studios Scyther. I don't care who you are, man. Scyther, Pinsir, such incredible Pokemon. If you didn't have any of those in your party growing up, I'd be shocked. They just have such a cool factor to them. Another cute small statue by Moonshadow with Ralts evolving into Gardevoir. And then right up top, we have Fantasy Studios Gardevoir. Nice, artistic, pretty interpretation of that Pokemon. So unfortunately, I couldn't fit all my Pokemon statues in these cases. I have 3 extra left over. I wanted to just slowly showcase how I normally showcase statues on my channel so you can see them. This is DS Studios Blaziken. So what they did is they actually didn't complete the Gen 3 line. They started with this. It came with LEDs just like the Gen 1 Charizard, but they discontinued the line. I don't think sales were very well, but such a cool statue. Then we have the Peepap Gyarados again. So this is the blue normal version. We saw the shiny variant as well. We could pluck off one of these Magikarp. They go on here with little notches on the bottom, and there's some magnets impacted in there, but the color and paint job on them is just phenomenal. One of the reasons I wanted to showcase these statues like this is just so you can get kind of more of an up close and personal feel to Pokemon statues. Maybe you're somebody who's interested in these, and you could really get a feel for how they come together, how they flow, how they just come in several different parts to build together to see these glorious statues. Now, I really wanted to slow things down to showcase a specific statue, which is Fantasy Studios Mewtwo. First, we're gonna pluck Mewtwo off of here and get a really close look. This statue was cool that it included swappable arms that I'll show you in a little bit, so we can see his hand reaching down as if he just, bursted out of the Team Rocket facility, burnt it to ashes, and is ready to unleash his power on the world. So it's very common, just like the rock we just saw, for pieces to come off that are sculpted separately. Here's the notch that allows him to attach to the back portion of that base. And again, we can see such an incredible emotion that they captured on Mewtwo. That's how they pop off. Just little magnets are in the arm sockets and they go right into place. So we'll put him back on, and then we'll showcase some of these separate arms that they included that again are gonna kind of just give him a better and different feel overall, so you can pick and decide which ones you want to go with. There's the swap outs. Nice, they give you about 3 different poses you can go with, and if you grab this piece that's removable on top of the concrete, you'll see you've got some steel row bar coming out of there. There's a magnet on the back, but this is actually replaced with a giant moon effect. So the back of this is actually gonna be flat with an AC adapter. There's also my ugly mug. And then if we see on the front, there's a bunch of removable pieces, again, of concrete, and then we have some steel going on. So again, the purpose of this is to really get up close and personal with the statue, see how they form, function, go together. Now we got to take a look at these incredible LEDs. Absolutely brilliant. Fantasy Studio does amazing jobs with their statues. You can see the passion that they put into these things. So what an amazing piece to own if you're one of the lucky few that does have this statue. Well, thank you so much for joining me on today's showcase. Again, I highly recommend you check out Maju Case's case designs. They're just so perfect to house collections of any shape and size. And also, I do plan on the future showcasing more Pokemon statues, kind of similar to I do Naruto, but I might be doing it on a secondary channel. So look forward to that in the future, and I'll see you in the next showcase. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.